One of the toughest parts of crate training a dog is listening to them cry inside their crate. It's extremely frustrating. I'm asked about this all the time. There are a few things that you can do to stop the whining. The first thing you need to figure out, and I know this sounds like common sense, but why is the dog whining? Is he whining because he is lonely in there, just because he's been locked inside the crate? Is he whining because the crate's not comfortable? Is he whining because it's too small, or because he needs to go to the bathroom, because he's bored? There are lots of reasons why your dog could be whining. So if you get frustrated, just stop and think to yourself, has he been outside lately to use the restroom? If not, maybe he has to go. Is he bored? Make sure that you supply him with toys, things to chew on while your dog's in there so that he doesn't get bored. There are, lots of reasons why a dog would whine. If it's an easy fix, that's the quickest way to stop the whining. So take a minute and just think about why the dog's whining. If you know the whining is simply because you've locked the door and your dog is lonely in there, crate training is a long process. It takes some time for you to get used to, for your dog to get used to, but it will happen. And there are some things that you can do to help. My first tip is that crate training needs to be gradual. You can't just adopt a dog, lock him in a crate the next day, and leave for work. He doesn't understand that. He doesn't know what to expect. That's a recipe for disaster. It's really not even something that will happen over the course of a few days or a week. It's something that you need to take time and do very gradually. I've made some video guides. We have lots of handy tips and tricks from professional dog trainers, veterinarians, and other members of our staff. So if you click the link below this video, you can find lots of tips for dog crate training if that's something that you're still working on. But that's a very gradual process. If you do it too quickly, it will cause stress and anxiety, which will lead to whining. So crate training properly is number one key to success, absolutely. If you've done the crate training thing and your dog is whining, maybe it's because the crate is too big. As you can see, this used to be Molly's crate. She doesn't need to be crated anymore, but she's kind of curled as she's sleeping. So if she were standing up and she straightened out, this crate would be too small for her. Height-wise, it's also too small for her because now that she's bigger, she would have to crouch her head to stand in this crate. So this crate is a little bit too small for her. She still loves it. This is what proper crate training, these are the results of proper crate training, I should say. Your dog will learn to love their crate. So if the crate is too small though and your dog's not comfortable in there, it's going to lead to whining. Make sure it's the proper size. I do have a video guide for that, so you can definitely check that out. Add a blanket. You can see Molly's laying on this nice purple fluffy blanket. That's her blanket, and that's why she's in the crate right now. That's her blanket. It's the one that she likes to sleep with. It's always on her dog bed. So, provide things that make them comfortable. Boredom is also a big thing, a big reason why dogs whine in the crate. So first and foremost, before you put them in the crate, make sure they get plenty of exercise. Go for a walk, play fetch. If your dog likes to play tug or chew toys, give them plenty of time outside of the crate to burn that excess energy so that they don't get bored, and they're also tired. When they go into their crate, they'll have a nice rest and they won't be thinking about the boredom. You can also leave toys in the crate with your dog. Make sure it's something that he can chew on his own. Kongs are great. You can stuff them with peanut butter and freeze them overnight so they take a little bit longer to get the stuff out of the middle. I like to do that, and it gives the dog something to do while he's in there by himself to entertain himself if he does get bored. If your dog has been properly crate trained, you've done it gradually, it's comfortable, it's the right size, you've given him things to do while he's in there and exercised him before you put him in there, then it may just be nuisance whining. The biggest thing to remember, never punish your dog for whining. Whining is their way of communicating. It's the equivalent of punishing a small child that is asking for help. They are asking you for help by whining, so it's really important that you never punish them for that, because you don't want them to feel like they're doing something wrong when they're asking you for help. If it's nuisance whining, if you have a consistent schedule, you've gradually crate trained your pet, everything's great, the nuisance whining needs to be ignored. And I know it's hard to do that because you feel bad, but it should stop after a few minutes if you leave the room or you leave the house, and it actually should stop with a consistent schedule and your dog gets used to being crated. It should stop within a week to 10 days completely. They, are going to gradually wean down on the whining once they realize that you're not paying attention to it and you're not giving them what they want when they whine. If the nuisance whining doesn't stop, it may not be nuisance whining. There could be some sort of mental or physical issue that's causing the whining. If they are in pain, you obviously need to seek veterinary care. If it's a mental thing, it's going to be some kind of stress and anxiety issue. Separation anxiety and actually confinement anxiety is a real thing in lots of dogs. So you may need to look at remedies for that. Again, I've shared some great resources if you think that might be the problem, if you're at the point where you've tried everything, you're watching through this video and you're like, I've tried that. There may actually be something going on with your dog that needs to be treated. So you can definitely do that, and it's something I would definitely encourage you to talk to your veterinarian about. If you have any other questions, feel free to email me. Thanks for watching this video guide.